There is no place quite like it. A building to be sure, but oh, what lives inside is what makes it special. Because through these doors, you unlock a treasure chest of memories, of people, of a game that has been played in this country like no other, football.
I think Howie Long put it perfectly, and you alluded to it, is that, you know, Major League Baseball may be America's pastime, but pro football is truly America's passion.
This game that has become such a part of our culture and our heritage hardly started that way. You have to understand, the first professional contest was played in 1892 when Allegheny hired a star college player to help them win a grudge match.
And so what they did is they telegrammed a tackle that had just graduated from Yale. His name was William Pudge Heffelfinger. Pudge was his nickname. He was an All-American tackle there. He just graduated, and they told him, we won't tell anyone. Get on a train, come to Pittsburgh, and help us play in this game, and we'll pay you $500. I said, sure, in 1892, can you imagine?
Ooh, $500
It's a lot of money. And one of the things that we found, which was given to us by the Steelers, is this accounting ledger from the Allegheny Athletic Association.
Oh, my.
And you can see in the middle seam there, W. Heffelfinger for playing cash, $500, and that's the first documented instance in which someone was paid to play football.
What really turned it in the right direction came years later, when an Olympic track star named Jim Thorpe decided to pursue a new career.
He signed with the Canton Bulldogs in 1915, and he all of a sudden elevated the game. Pro football, many people find this hard to believe. Pro football was not a very honorable profession to be in. You literally had players that were playing under assumed names or hiding their identity somehow, or being afraid to tell their parents or ashamed that they were being paid to play football.
With people taking a look, teams started to pop up. Ernie Nevers was a two-way star for the Duluth Eskimos.
I always like to talk about Ole Hogsrud, who purchased the Duluth Kellys in the mid-1920s and purchased it for only $1. The team was so cash-strapped and full of debt, they gave it to him for $1. They did a 20-game barnstorming tour. They traveled around the country, a lot of success there. But the NFL in those years, they knew what they had to do to succeed was to get out of the small town cities that they're in, like Canton, like Akron, like Duluth, and go to larger cities if they wanted to succeed.
Red Grange filled stadiums with his reputation. And when television started to become a player, so too did the players. It was still a bit of a rural game played in relatively small cities. So Canton, Ohio became a candidate to build the Hall of Fame through some good old-fashioned initiative. Why Canton, Ohio? Why did Canton, Ohio become the home for the Hall of Fame?
Well, there's really three reasons why the Hall of Fame is in Canton, Ohio. And first and foremost, I think, is the National Football League was founded in Canton, Ohio in 1920. There were many owners of various professional football teams that gathered in an automobile dealership in downtown Canton, Ohio, which was owned by Ralph Hay, the owner of the Canton Bulldogs, and they decided to form a National Football League.
What has evolved has mirrored the growth of the game. A museum to honor the greats. And when you do the math on what it takes to wear a special jacket here, it's a little overwhelming.
Over 100 million people have played this game in some form or fashion. Only 2 million have played on the college level, and of that, 27,000 people have played, coached, or administered in the National Football League. Now, we only have, of that 27,000, 303 members in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. So what you have is a huge pyramid. And at the top of that pyramid, it's just a small percentage of people that have played the game. And when you kind of portray it in that fashion to the guys that have just been elected to a Hall of Fame, it knocks them over.
That's what makes it so significant.
You don't realize how emotional that is, to be in a Hall of Fame with all those great people. I mean, I go back and I look in there, Don Hudson is there, you know, guys that I grew up with when I was, you know, he was at Green Bay, and all the great players, and you'll realize what you're part of until you get there. So it's quite an honor to be in a Hall of Fame. That's one of the if I've got anything to be proud of, being in the Hall of Fame with all those other great people, all my stars, you know, the Crazy Legs Hirsch and Night Train Lane you know, all those, and Bulldog Turner, and you know, all those great names that I grew up with, and now I'm right there, I'm right next to them.
Where they morph the Hall of Famers into the common man is where this all becomes practical and grassroots. See, the Hall of Fame does not want to be known as a place you go just to pay homage to the greats. It's bigger than that. It's designed to be transformative to the entire nation.
Well, the Hall of Fame's mission is to honor the heroes of the game, preserve its history, promote its values, and to celebrate excellence everywhere. And so it starts with that. And so if we're doing something and we can't point to that mission, that it helps us fulfill that mission, we don't do it.
So this becomes a building you aspire to, where you tell your story of perseverance, a lot like life.
Believe me, I'm blessed. I'm an extremely blessed man.
The values that are learned from the game and what they kind of take those values with them as they move forward in life. And then they're reminded of that when they come back here and they see all the great players that have played before them and the shoulders that they're standing upon. And now they're being the shoulders that people moving forward play the game are then standing on and recalling when they're trying to achieve success. It really is a unique thing.
And they've added to the complex in ways never envisioned when it all started, remaking the stadium.
And in time for next July and August with our enshrinement celebration, we'll have a brand new stadium, brand new press box, and it will be as good as any NFL stadium that's being built today, but it'll be only 22,000 seats. So it's a very intimate stadium.
Eventually this will become a destination for more than football. It will rival theme parks. Salim, you know, one time you said we're going to recognize a bunch of great football players, but the vision for the Pro Football Hall of Fame has become so expansive. It's so much bigger than just an enshrinement in a place where we honor football.
Right. Like I mentioned before, we want to be the most inspiring place on earth, and to help us do that is by creating Hall of Fame Village. We're eventually going to have a 10,000 seat arena in which we could maybe host, you know, not only basketball games, but even indoor football games if we wanted to. So it's going to be really exciting. And then, of course, we're going to have over here the Hall of Fame experience, which is going to be like an amusement park, but for dark rides and immersive experiences.
Yes, who would have thunk it when they first started playing for money in 1892, that this game would help shape a nation, and this tribute would tell the story of excellence in football and in life.
Life to the Max is brought to you by Life Touch, photography for a lifetime.